Welcome back to Pro Bikini News Network. I'm your host, John L. Gandy, and in today's video, we're going to be previewing the Fit Model Pro Japan. And this is really exciting because this is the first ever Fit Model Pro show in the world, and we have been waiting for this. The season has begun. This is epic. 48 girls all over the world. I mean, man, wow. This is going to be so hyped up for this whole year. The buildup has just been crazy wild, and we're going to be touching on a lot of things because I know that there's going to get a lot of response, and I know there's been a lot of talk back and forth, but I'm excited for this. We have a lot of great athletes from all over, a lot of people that have earned their pro cards in the past year, and we have people coming from Bikini down into this division. So I'm hoping with everything going on, that they pick the right person to win, and they have to go with whoever presents the best on that day. And the physique that's gonna be where the division goes forward. So with all that being said, I know that when we see things in shows, and we see, like I say, pictures don't translate always what you always see. So if we talk about what happened, and I don't give amateurs any crap on this show, so just for the record, I don't talk about amateurs or people like trying to go for their pro card, because it's like, it ain't right for me. It just doesn't. It's just like, they're someone who's going for it, and if they're not my athlete that's in a pro qualifier, I won't go for it. But I'm just going to say that LA Fit Expo at the beginning of the year did not have many athletes in it, and they have to pick the best person to win. I mean, that girl that won is harder, and she's going to be going for a program. But if there were more people, could be a different result. But if she's the best one on the stage, that's who they have to pick. But for the amateur, which is going to happen on Friday, it's only one overall winner, only the class winner and the overall winner. So the person who won their class, they go into the top four, and it's only the overall winner that gets their pro card. So with that being said, we have a lot of stars. We have a lot of people to cover. I got a list of 10 girls here that I think are going to be in the top 10. I am going to look at other girls that are in here. I don't want to spend too much time looking over every single person, but I will go with who I know and who I think is going to be someone to look out for. Also, look for a common theme and a common pattern of what they're going to see, but also how they present their physiques, who's going to do their presentation on time, who's going to nail the look that they're looking for. And this show is going to run by pretty good. Men's physique only got 10 people in it, so I thought if it was going to be longer, if it had more people, but it's going to be really short, so it's going to start on time, it's going to end on a good time. So with that being said, like 10 seconds with 48 athletes, after they do the groups and all, then we'll see who the first call it is. And most likely, and I know Sandy will do this with a group of this, most likely it's going to be 8 girls. So what I'm happy that Sandy's doing is because she's going to set the tone. And I've seen everything back and forth with muscle contests, with questions with Becky, with Patrick, and everything else. But Patrick will go with the more like the beauty kind of a thing, more like conditioned, more muscular girl, and Sandy's going to go and keep that in line. And I saw the episode with Men's Physique Radio when Sandy was on, just listening to her. Whenever Sandy's on a podcast, and if I could ever get her on, that would be an honor. But they try to do things to keep it in line, and so that I think what she's going to try to do is go and say, okay, well, who nails it best, who looks like they're confident, who looks like they're going to walk out and they're going to win. So I'm hoping after this show, because they're not going to have another Fit Model show until March, which is in Taiwan. So maybe some of the girls from Asia, maybe some people from US go and travel there. And this is so crazy. When I just saw this list, when it came out, I looked at the numbers and I'm like, I've never seen a show where so many people go out from the US, go outside of a country, and that's taken over. Because we've had the AGP in the past, with the Asian Grand Prix in South Korea, where we had Courtney King, Angelica, Janet, Ashley. They would go overseas and do those shows, and it was like a post Olympia, which I missed, which I love the Olympia back in September, which they've been trying to get back to for ever since the whole COVID thing happened. But I used to love seeing that the top girls would go to do a European tour, go to Prague, go to Asia, get out there, meet their fans. But when they had the AGP, most likely someone that's a top girl would win it. Like Angelica would win it. She won it twice, in 17 and then in 18. And I think Janet won one of the shows out there. She won a Japan show. Also Laura Lee Chapadas as well. I think she won it was a China show as well. There was a China show, but that was cool to have our athletes go out there and compete. But that does not compare. That lineup was at least less than 10, maybe 15 at most. This lineup has 1/3 of the girls from the USA in it. So a lot of people going into Japan, it's gonna be great. I thought about going to some shows, but it's like between this one and the next one, couldn't go to it, didn't make sense. Um, Japan's expensive, so that's another thing. But yeah, this is like really epic. So let's get to it. So let's take a look at our list. And I did make this list last night. So shout out to anybody who supports this channel and loves it. So we're gonna it's on it. I thought there was gonna be 40, maybe 50, 60 people on it, but I guess it's much less. So hold on. Let me go to my page. Here we go. Let's go here. All right, we got a big list. So we have so many people. I think the BTS had the country breakdown. So 17 from the US, 10 from South Korea, 2 from Canada, 2 from Brazil. It's a lot of US. I said at the beginning, I think this is the category for the Asian countries like South Korea, because that physique type, I believe, is going to be what they can relate to. So most of them are from North America and Asia, and then you have very few. So we'll see the physique types that are going to be going to that. So, all right, let's go to our list here. So obviously the names that stand out are going to be Angie Miranda, who won the overall here and got her pro card. She's the first ever fit model pro in the world. Emily Chanel, remember that rivalry they had with each other? She's the first one to get a pro card in the US, and it was in the Pittsburgh where she got hers. So we have Janet here as well. Hold on, wait. We have Janet here as well. We have Lizzie Martinez, who's a bikini pro. Ariam Song, she's a former Olympian. I think she hasn't been on stage in like 3 years. So I guess this is a good division for her because she has such an amazing physique. But like I've not really seen. I've only seen what her front looks like. I don't know what her she looks like in the back. We know Jessica Wilson. She's the former Masters Olympia champion. So 3 former Olympians are here from Bikini, and then we have a lot of girls from like U.S., South Korea. We love Charlie. She's a fan favorite. Mayara from Brazil. Veronica, she's from Italy. And what's her name? Gabby. Who's the one from Brazil? I think her last name's different than her profile. Gabriella. Oh yeah, because her name's long. Gabby Soul, the cute little young girl. But let's go into some of our athletes that we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to tell you what our front runner is, but we'll look at Angie first. All I can remember is what she looked like on stage last. So if I can find that video. Let's see, here we go. That's it. But I've seen her updates. She looks way improved. My thing is, I think she just needs more legs. But we'll see how it goes. All right, so let's go Emily, because those are the first 2 standouts. This was her recent update. And another thing, I'm going to just pause it right here. They've been talking a lot about the suit cuts and stuff. And look, they got to enforce those rules. And I know people are going to go, that suit cut's bad. That suit cut's bad. They're going to all quit. I get it why people are so hypersensitive, because they want the division to go in the right direction. But the judges are only going to award. But now the suit cut thing, because of the national shows that we've had, some of the suit cuts got smaller and smaller and smaller. They didn't go for that 50% coverage. They want to keep that in check. So what you see from Emily is probably not going to be seen on stage. So I get why, because they have to enforce the rules. They have to say, this is the rules, these are the standards, you got to follow them. If you don't, can't. Because if judges just allow it and they don't give a shit, then there's going to be a lot of issues. So that's another thing I wanted to address is working with the companies that you work for, understanding what works for your body type and your, physique type. So understanding, how your hip to glute ratio is. I mean, obviously, you know, get that measured out, send your measurements. One company I recommend the most is Toxic Angels. Use code PBNN, just saying. I mean, they make awesome suits. And they'll find ways to work with you, and they'll always improve on that and also give you something that you can go on stage and that you love. But they have to make sure that they do that so that it doesn't go out the door and doesn't like go to shit. Because what happens as this division will evolve is that things will get smaller, 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 and everybody keeps getting bigger, bigger, bigger. But this is the beginning. We'll see how it goes. They need to enforce that. And I'm hoping they do enforce that. I'm hoping Sandy does really address that. But let's get back to our topic. Yeah, I mean, like this was 3 weeks out. This was 3 weeks ago, so February. So that was the last update from her. Let me see if I can find her Pittsburgh. But she's been putting in work for almost like a year for this show, almost 10 months. Here we go. But she's like improved like the whole like stage presence, the whole presentation part. Last year in Japan, her hair is a little messy, but this is a much better look for her. The suit's great on her. Color's great now, nice and simple. But the thing is, will she have enough muscle to compete with some of these girls and what they want? But I like her ratios, like small waist, longer torso. Okay, let's go to, here we go. We have Janet. So we haven't seen her on stage since the 2022 Olympia. This is the only close-up we could get. Now, I don't know what she looks like in the back, but we'll have to just see what happens on stage. I do think, I don't know how much she's downsized, but the biggest thing with Janet is she has wide delts. She's like wide. She has big shoulders, great glute inserts. Like when people look at Janet, she looks like a model. She looks like she can be on like SI or like Sports Illustrated. She could be on GQ. Like people got into bikini and they really loved it because of Janet. I remember my good friend Skylar Lanier, who was a Hooters waitress, just like Janet, and she got into the sport. And it brings attention, which I'm like hoping that you have someone who has that star power like she does, that it's going to bring traction. It's going to get eyes to the division. She was someone who, you look like her. That was like a lot of people when she came back, they're like, that's the physique I want. That's what I love. And I'm happy that she's back. But like I said, now that she's a former Bikini Olympia champion, she's qualified for life in bikini. She's going to a different division. She has to qualify for the division that she is in. So with that being said, she's going to be judged like a whole different category. This is her Olympia look. But when I look at her, she in 2022 she looked like 2020. But even though she got 8th and every show she was in, she did Pittsburgh, New York, got 3rd. The thing with her is just she comes in too lean. But she is not frail. She's not fragile. She has, like I said, if you just look at her, she's wide, longer torso, long legs, like beautiful glutes. But it just comes in too lean. The 1 year, I will say this, her 8th place was not the worst physique that she ever brought. Her worst physique was 2016 when she was just inflamed. And she was top 2, like right out the bat at the Olympia. So she was top 2 to Ashley in 14, 15, and 16 she dropped to 6. 17 she competed in a couple of shows, and then she took that year off, didn't do the Olympia. Then she came back and got better, and just, I just felt for her, she just needed to fill out her frame and just come in full enough where she's not too lean and she's not too soft. Her 2016 physique, worst physique. Like front looked good, but then the back just was too way too soft. Uh 15, and a lot of people asked why didn't she have her 50, why couldn't her 15 physique be the standard fit model? It was because she was just too lean, big delts, adductors were showing. If I let me show you, like, this look wasn't too bad. Let me go to her like her adductors were more pronounced when in 15. But yeah, we've not seen her on stage in a while, but let me see. Nope. Keep in mind, this was years ago. But you look at her, she has great stage presence. Like, she walks out, she looks like you can't take her eyes off her. But like I said, I'm curious to see what she looked like. The only thing that I feel like possibly could hurt her in the top spots is what she looks like in the back. She does, from these photos. Like I said, it's just by herself. She does look a little downsized, but I do think that she may look a little too big compared to the girls in Fit Model now. But we'll see. I do think that she's going to be in the first call out because you recognize her right away. But it's going to be exciting to see what Janet looks like. Next up, we'll go Jessica Wilson. Let me see. We have a video here. Here we go. I feel for Jessica that when she's like the star of the show in some of the shows that she's hard to beat. The thing with her is that she's the last one of the last people to go up. But this case, she'll be one of the few last people to go up. For her to hold her condition to that long is really hard. The thing with her is like she has, she's just a smaller frame, like only 5 feet tall. But in her front, it's like her upper glute doesn't round out. I think that's just genetics. But in the back, it looks good. But I feel like sometimes she loses the condition, like in her tie-ins a lot. And I think this is a good division for her to have like longevity in the sport. But she's been in this since 2015 when she turned pro. The thing I would say is pick a color and stick with it. I loved her lighter hair with the teal suit. But the darker hair with purple, I mean, I don't know. It takes time for me to get used to a new look with her. But I always feel like if she hits it, I don't know what she looks like in a styling pose. We've not seen any updates. I did see the women's workshop with her, but in Bikini, her upper glute just doesn't round out. And you know who also has that? And almost the same height as her, Ali Fernandez. But Ellie's has more longer torso and wider hips. And Ellie's a perennial Olympian. I do not think Ellie's going to fit model. She's way too developed. And that's another thing with bikini competitors coming from bikini to fit models. They're downsizing a lot. It is not easy. I mean, Erin Stern, she could do that from figure to bikini because, I mean, exceptional genetics. When you're an Olympic jumper, it's different. Let's go to Arium. Now, she is a very beautiful girl. But I only see what she looks like in front. I don't know what she looks like in back. Here we go. She has a short torso, long legs. Beautiful girl. I can try to find her Olympia stage photos, but like these girls from Asia look so amazing. Like it just sucks that some of them get overlooked when they come to the US because they come in either too small or just way too lean. And I feel like if some of them can compete here, in which it's hard for them to do that because when they come from Asia to the US on the West Coast, they lose. They're a day ahead of us and they lose a whole day, so it can really mess with them. But I'm gonna keep scrolling. I'm gonna find her last look. So this is the show she won. But I'm looking at some of the girls from Asia, and unfortunately, at the Bikini Olympia, not many of them makes second call outs or even third. They're in like fourth call out. I think the only girls that made second call out was Sally from Japan, Jiben, because she's been an Olympian for many years, and then uh what's her name? Sarah Choi and Wu Bai from China. Sarah Choi is from South Korea. But I met Sarah in person. She looks amazing. So what? She's 34, so she's about Janet's age. So wow. And she's a mom too. I guess that's why she likes Janet so much. And that's another thing. Like a lot of people got into this sport because of her. Because of Janet. I think a lot of people got into this. What year? I think it's 2023. So we're almost there. I could look on NPC News, but I did see videos on her, so we'll find it. But like I said, I'm only going to look at someone's previous stage photo. Oh, here we go. I think if she fixes her posing, she's pinching her back, standing too wide. But like I said, fit model is going to be different. But she's got a great physique, amazing, like beautiful. Like you look at her, the face, the makeup, everything looks great. I just think it's how her proportions are, for really. But she's in fit model suits with the company that she's with. And she looks really good. But like I said, I don't know what it's gonna look like. I said, I know if this is what her front looks like. To me, it looks good, but I need to see it translate to stage, and we'll see what it looks like in the back. That's the thing. If you're not seeing something from the back, it means that maybe that's not their best strength. Let's go to some of the U.S. girls we have. Let's Jane Jones. So we've been seeing a lot of updates from her lately. I felt like the junior essays where she turned pro, it wasn't her best look, but we'll see what she brings if she tightens up coming into Japan, coming from, I don't know where, I think she's living on the East Coast. Let's see. Like the one show she got nationally qualified in, it was pretty good, but I will say this, it felt like I said, I don't think we've seen the best Jane yet. Like even her junior essays win was, I don't want to say take any disrespect. I felt like it was good. It was like probably the best she could have brought. You can kind of see her lower abs. Back was pretty decent. I felt like she was just a little watery. Let's see, rough, barely asleep. Yeah, she was holding. I'd even look at the caption. I knew she was holding water. Like I can look at a physique and I can tell what's going on. But if I feel like as she tightens up and she's under less stress and she nails it with her posing and the physique, I definitely think she can. I definitely think she'll be one of those top girls to look out for. But hopefully she gets the right suit cut. All right. Let's go to Nadia. I think this is Paul Ravella's girl. She turned pro at the Masters, yeah. See, I didn't even think she was in her 40s at all. But got those long legs. I need to see what she looks like on stage. But I think the popular physique type is going to be those longer, taller girls. This is going to be great for the girls who just, they can't really, it's hard for them to go and compete in bikini. Do we have anything? There's a Gilco video. No. Don't wear orange. I think red or teal will be good on her. Is she? I don't know. She doesn't look. I think she's in her 30s. If she did the 35, this looks good. I just feel like she could use more glute. But she'll be someone to look out for. No, that was from last year. I need to see stage. I don't care what you look like in the hotel. I need to see what you look like on stage. But this is like from recent. This looks good. Like the gym, locker room, the posing room is totally different. Nadia, what's her name? Myra? I think she commented in here. Whitney, Whitney, she turned pro at the USA? Or is it junior? No, yeah, she turned pro at USA. Whitney. She looks tall, but she's short. Amazing physique, but man, that backdrop like was not the best, and it was blue. But I like her smile. And bring that confidence, girl. Okay. Myra. I think she did the Olympia Amateur in US. And she took second what's her name? Swan. And then she turned pro, I think, out in Asia. So she's from outside US. Anything from her show that she won? Y'all need to start posting updates. Got nothing for me to. I can't look at anything I don't know. No, that was from Las Vegas. So this is where she turned pro in Malaysia. Love her makeup. I like her hair. This is good. Do think she needs just a little glue, but she changes her front. Nice and simple to the point. Notice she's smiling and the other girl's not. Smile. Be happy to be there. I don't care if you're outside the box. Continue to damn smile. Keep that in mind, ladies. All right. Gabby. I think that she'll be one of the top girls to look out for. Like I said, I feel like people's pro qualifier was not a good look for them. And then maybe people have improved from there. I'm just going to find what she last looked like on stage. But her updates have been looking pretty good. But she did at one point look way too shredded. But then she's kind of starting to feel like she's about 5'6", 5'7". Here we go. And I felt like this lighting made her quads look. I mean, maybe she just came in a little too lean, but the lighting makes her look way too lean or way too hard. But like I said, wasn't her best. It was it the best physique? Yes. I definitely think she has that good model look, and, like, I think a lot of the taller girls are gonna have a great advantage here. But from her last physique update, last check-in, I believe, when I'm looking at this, I think how she's doing her fronts, not the best, but her back looks pretty good. Just hope she nails it, like, with filling out and everything. Right. Then we have what's her name? Um, what's who else? I have it on this list. We'll look at so we looked at Gabby, we looked at Jane, we looked at Emily. Charlie, our fan favorite. The people love her. Honestly, I just love her like transparency and just how like open she is. But she has a really beautiful look to her. She like you see her on stage, she's like happy to be there. You always see her smiling, you never see her frowning. And I saw the video with the suit controversy. She's addressed it. She'll get it changed. Now, I do know what she looks like with Larissa. Who's a fit model pro from Australia. And Larissa has done shows with some of the girls that are in this show as well. But we'll see how she looks like with the US. And when she comes out, she'll be one of the few people. I was hoping her and Janet would stand next to each other in the lineup because of their last names, but there's a couple girls ahead of her. They could be in the same group. But I honestly think it would be a great comparison to see. But who knows? Could get that opportunity in the first call out if it does happen. Well, let me see. Here's from when she won. Nope. Let me see. Let me see like a stage video. I can just pull it up on NBC News. Okay, here we go. See if I click on it, it's going to bring up a different page. Okay, let's go to here. I do know that she's improved on her front post, but this is a really good, like really great proportion to each other. She's not too big for bikini. She's right size. She's not too big where it's bikini. She's not capped. Not too crazy in the delts. Her back post could just use just a little more. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Like I said, I'm just basing off the last show that she did. And we did talk when I had her on. She's such a sweet person. But she has longer legs. Like she's about 5'6", so definitely going to be compared to some of the top girls like Gabby, like Janet, like we have a couple more girls to look at as well. So definitely she'll be one of the standout. Nadia as well. Alrighty. Then we'll go to, let's go back. see. Oh yeah, Lizzie Martinez. So she's been a pro for almost for like 10 years now. And I always felt like for her, she just had to like really come into that one show right peak and just nail it. Well, I think for her, she comes in a little too conditioned. I always thought, even last year, I think she could have won a show in bikinis. I think she almost qualified like a couple times, but she just came up short a lot. But honestly, I felt like for her, she needed the right the right presentation with the hair, suit, everything. Um, she's blonde now, so it's gonna take time for me to get used to like the blonde hair. But I always felt like she could have been like a bikini Olympian at some point if she kept going at it. I mean, she's very dedicated. She's someone who I felt like if she really wanted it, she'll get it. But we haven't seen. But I think the last show she did was the Indie Pro in Atlanta. I think she was like fifth, but she's always been like second place, like always second, sometimes fifth, sometimes just outside the top five in bikini. Arizona, I forgot how she placed. But when I saw that she was going into Fit Model, because in 2015, that was the look that she got her pro card in, I was like, okay, but you developed for over 10 years. I'm like, now this is a whole different division. You're going to be judged like this. So we'll see how it goes. I think she'll do pretty good. I don't know how that's going to look with the other girls, like from what I've seen. But like I said, you by yourself, you look great. But like when you're compared to like 40 other people, 40, 50 people, it's going to be, we'll see how that all translates to the stage. But her posing's good. She doesn't come in too lean. Definitely something to be looking at. I think you have Florida Pro. Now this lighting was just harsh. She's in Mexico. That's much better. Backdrop could be better. But I almost felt like if she pushed it a little more, she could have probably gone to figure. But I feel like bikini is the class she likes. Fit model something that she likes. I would say, okay, go for it. But now you're gonna have to go. Like this is the thing with bikini competitors now going into fit model. They're gonna be judged just like that criteria is. If you go up, if you go down to division, guess what? Okay, you're in this division now. You're gonna be judged like that, and based on who shows up. But I'm curious to see what it looks like. So I'd be looking out for Lizzie because she is a bikini pro. But the thing is, can she not come in? Can she just bring that look when she gets into Tokyo? All right. So there are a lot of girls from Asia, and I'm not going to overlook them, but I think her name is Eon. She has blonde hair, but now her hair is darker. And like these girls from Asia are gonna look amazing. But the thing is, they gotta come out confident and like memorable. You want to be in that top spot, you have no choice but to be memorable. I feel like for her, she just needs a little more full. Like I said, they come in a little too lean. She just needs to like fill out. She could fix her suit. Um, Angel from China. Pretty sure there's a video when she got her pro. Here we go. This is the best definition we could get because they didn't have much coverage. Suit looks good on her. I feel like the hologram suit's going to be really popular in this category. Like, I remember back when Bikini started, it looked like suits that you can go to the store and get. Or like I remember Stacey Alexander had like the connectors with like the circles on it, like they were large. I just feel like how she's, if she can improve her posing and not look so rigid with her arm out, looks good. Okay. We'll see what Angel looks like. Seojin Xiong. Like I said, taller girl, like she's gonna be one of those people to look out for from South Korea. Like they have a coaching team with 10 girls, and one of them's from Hong Kong. I don't know if this was the show she turned pro at. Let me see. No, she had a pink suit. I don't think the pink suit's good on her. I think the bluish green suits are good. But this is where she, I believe, turned pro. And this production is sick. But with lighter hair, lighter, like you need dark to light to contrast. So maybe if it was dark hair, would look better, but also it's her skin tone as well. What an amazing physique that she has. And she hits that pose well. And she's smiling. She's confident. She's keeping her fullness as she's walking. And that's another thing is, you know, keeping that fullness like the whole time and not coming in flat, not you know, coming in way too soft. And then my last girl I'm gonna look at would be Dabin. Now this girl looks amazing. Like I said, I hope these girls come out and they like come out with a bang. They come out like they're ready to, like they're ready for it. Like this girl like looks like an anime. This is insane. The waist, it looks like it's Photoshop. And Jordan and Larissa told me like in person she looks unreal. I'm like, I mean, I need to see. I hope she could qualify so I can see her in real life. Let me find stage. Anything? You could tell the South Korea is really into the fashion. And I was telling someone was messaging back and forth who lives in South Korea. She goes to Jae-hun Park's gym called All Right Gym. He's a top Olympian at men's physique. I was like, hey, you know, you guys' fashion is awesome. I'm like, I want some of that freedom athletic wear that you guys have. And they have that nice varsity jacket. It's like, oh, it's only exclusive to the athletes. That's why Keon and Samson got it. I'm like, ah. And Jay and Terrence at the time. But she looks unreal. She told me she's 5'7", so I'm like, okay, now you can really compare to some of them. But we'll see what they're gonna go with, either a tall girl, short girl. So how does that balance out? Like, how do they play to their strengths? I do think she needs to fill out because she does have longer glute inserts. And I think the girls with the shorter glute inserts are gonna have a good advantage in this division. All right. Let's go back to our list. Oh, so we looked at a lot of girls. The ones I did not look at was because I felt like I don't like a lot of them were in shows with like smaller lineups. I felt like we'll see what they look like. It's gonna be totally different. I'm not taking away any of it. I just can't go over 60 people. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to get a list going. I'm gonna get a list out of a top 10. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do this more with fit model with a bikini too. But it's gonna be hard to do so many bikini and fit model shows, but I'll make it work. Okay. Here we go. Got this list out. Anyone else want to look at? Jade's another girl. I think she got her pro card in the Caribbean. She's lit US. Leela got her pro card at the USA's. A lot of athletes. But I guess who's gonna, like I said, you gotta make yourself memorable. Like, you have no choice but to be memorable if you want to be in that top spot. Right, let me see. Someone message me. Oh, okay. All right. So I wrote down my top 10. And I'm probably going to be really wrong about this, but we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go screen. Okay, let's do this. All right. Here come the haters. Oh, well. Listen, people say predictions are a waste of time. I just do it for fun, just cause. But if I'm gonna look at what I see a common theme, that's what I'm gonna look at. If I'm gonna look at these girls, like I said, what shows up could be totally different. I've been wrong a lot. The worst score I ever got was about 30%. Now I've had experiences. I've been to shows like Jim Mannion's wife Debbie. She could look at someone when they walk out and pick a winner. I feel like, from what I've heard, I think she was about like 85% accurate, and she would always have all the girls she would have as a top spot. They would wind up in the top 5. She's never had someone outside the top 5. When, I mean, she gets the best seat in the house, like being in there in person. But for the Bikini Olympia, I was 79% accurate with the top 15. Their placings were not too far off. So with that being said, oh, I'm gonna get flamed. Okay. But if I'm gonna go with who the judges know, who they recognize, because I guarantee when they walk out, they're gonna write down names of people from the groups of who they're gonna look at, and also pay attention to their individuals. So 5 judges on here. I think I'll go. I think I'll go Gabby. I'm bad if I spelled her name. K-Rose. Keros. That's tough. Like, who's more proportionate? Who's more balanced? Go Emily. Jane. Go Angie. This is where it gets tough. I mean, everyone's gonna get so mad at me. Like I said, I can only remember what I see with the last time they looked and what they brought and proved. I'll go Charlie. I'll go Dabin. Janet. Mm. Xiao Xinjiang. Go Jessica. Oh, darn, am I gonna have her? Another thing you have to consider is how much experience have you. This is their like pro debut, and these a lot of girls are rookies. So, oh, I'll go Angel. We'll just have to see what they look like. Anticipation. So the three black cats will have their live stream up. I might have to buy the live. I'm gonna have to be up at like 9:30 and see how it goes. But they also have an amateur going on, so that could delay time. Is there anyone else? I mean, they're gonna go with who they recognize. So obviously, your first call out's gonna be that. Like I could see Jessica being the first call out, but then get moved when they rotate girls and when they do like a final confirmation. It's honestly, this shows up in the air. I think anybody can take it. But I'm gonna go with what I like. There are a lot of people I think that deserve to win. Maybe it's not someone from the US. Maybe it could be someone outside or someone we don't even recognize. Maybe there's an unknown. Maybe it's someone we don't expect at all to win this show. But we'll see. We'll just have to wait. All right, kids. It's time for school. You graduated. Get ready for this. You know, make yourself memorable, little rookie. This is your wake-up call. This is your note of saying, hey, rookie, welcome to the Pro League, where you're going to learn to win and lose. A lot of people are going to be disappointed. And this is what's going to happen. As you know, everyone's so used to like, they won their class, you know, they won the overall. You may not win ever again. Just saying. When you turn pro, this is a whole different level now. This is a whole different ball game. You know, I remember someone's Uris, who is in Classic. He's never been outside a first call out or a top 5 in his career. He moves up a division. He's outside top 5 and outside top 10. And he's not in the first call. He's in the second call out. You got to learn how to lose. You got to learn how to take your feedback and improve on that. You may have been the girl that said, I won the Anaheim, I won Santa Fe, I became Miss USA. You get into the Pro League, you get smacked down. What are you going to do to improve that? You may have won everything as an amateur. Having a pro, you got to work your way up. You got to know that there are levels to this. And this is what I think a lot of these young pros and these young rookies are going to have to learn. This is why I kind of like show this to people. You have to see what you got to do to work and improve, because there are people with experience. There are people that are genuinely exceptional. You know, there's not many people that understand. Like Janet went from overall nationals, getting 8th at the Arnold, 2nd at the Olympia within a whole year. But if someone is that type of person, it's just rarely rare. It's obviously genetics. Obviously, it's hard work. You know, everybody works hard. All these girls have been working hard, but it's just like, who's the best? They don't care how hard you work. They don't care how many years you put into this. What you show up on stage, that's what gets judged. And throughout the season, we might have someone that we like. We might have that physique type that we like a lot, and that may not win because someone to the judges was much better. It's just we have to take that into consideration also in every show that we see, every show that we look at, and every show that we are there and compete in. That the physique that you may like may not be the physique that you win that wins. And there are a lot of times that people disagree. And obviously, we've been at some shows where the overall winner, people got silent when that person won. Maybe that was the best person. But listen, when they get into the pro league, when they compete with these people, totally different, right? There's that good old saying, the cream of the crop goes to the top. The top 10, those are the best. The top 15, those are the best. But there's only one winner at the end of this. One person's going to take the Olympia qualification. Someone's got to win. It may not be the person that everyone knows is popular. They don't care about your social media. They don't care, how popular you are, who sponsors you, whatever. The best physique's got to win. The best physique that shows up and brings it, that I'm here to win. I'm walking out. I'm taking this thing home. That's the one who's going to win. I know it because I'm not going to go to a national show and not bring a physique that I don't think can win. If I come out like I'm here, I'm going to do well. It's not arrogant. It's not cocky. It's saying that I believe everything I've done, I'm the winner here. I can win this show. I'm going to present my physique. I'm going to pose well, do everything right, time everything, peak, do my poses within the time frame I'm given. Only 10 seconds. So get to the point. Take too much time, you'll give a good reason for the judges to look at you wrong. And I know people have been going back and forth with Becky about 10 seconds isn't enough. You have too many people. Get to the point. They don't need to see too much. They don't need to see you dancing or, doing wave hand motions and stuff. Get to the damn point. Hit your front, hit your back, face the front, sign off. Because you stand there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They do that, they're going to find something that you're not good at. With that being said, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what other people have to say about this whole show. I'm curious to see who they have the winner. Maybe there's not a clear winner for them. Maybe we'll just have to let it all play out. But this is a new division. This is a new start. I'm excited to see what happens. And as the season goes on, maybe we'll see what the division's headed to. But I definitely think I have an idea. What I'm hoping that after this is all over with how we go and see things, that I'm not going to go and stab in the dark and try to figure out what the hell is going on. I actually can understand what's going on. So when they post the final results of the show, they have the scorecard, and I post the top 6, and you see their front and back. Look what got awarded. Look what placed high. Look what was lower. And then compare those physiques. But like I said, in person, it's different. See what one person had that the other person did not. Why was someone ahead of them? What did they do on stage that was different than what the other person did or did not do? I definitely think that, I'm excited for Wasatch. But that show is going to be really packed. It's going to have probably most of the overall winners in that show from the US. And I don't know how many people from outside can qualify, but there is a good probability that a lot of them can. But also, how many people from the West Coast are going to fly to these Asian countries? I already know Angie's going to go to Portugal. But the European competitors, they got to really get a grip on the division. They got to really meet the criteria. You're the best as a pro. You want everything as you're the best as an amateur. You want everything as an amateur. That don't mean you're going to always win as a pro. We've seen careers come and go. We see people, get disappointed and disgruntled because it didn't go the way they wanted. And I can't tell you how many people say the last time I ever looked good was when I got my pro card. Or I got my best when I got my pro card. But I'm hoping that there's a good direction in what this division is going to go to, that they really enforce the criteria. Because right now, people are talking about, it's crazy. People are talking about fit model more than they are talking about bikini. because bikini's gotten too advanced and it's over years and years and years of work, drugs and all that have been a thing. It's like it's hard to compete with some people who are just that much genetically gifted. I love bikini. I forever will. But we saw what happened with like wellness when it started to what it is now. It's like, obviously that's Latin America's division now. And you don't see many US competitors in it. But I'm open with these girls in Asia that they really bring it and they really bring that what they can do. And I definitely could see them that they do a lot of great things. But everything is going to evolve. And if that's what gets awarded and that's the direction they want to go with, that's what it is. I take things for what they are, not how I like it. Even for me, I'm not a big fan of Mike Sommerfeld's physique, but if that's the physique that they want, okay. I have to play it. Either I like it, I adapt, adjust, I overcome, or I just say, I don't want it. I don't like the look. We've seen a lot of people not like bikini because of what, the hard, soft, hard, soft, hard, soft. But it is what it is. This is all subjectivity. They have a preference of what they like. You may like something. If you don't agree, okay. But I'm hoping with Fit Model now, they actually really go and say, this is what we want to see. This is what we don't want to see. And we'll have a Tyler video after Pittsburgh. They'll tell you what they want to see for that division. And if that's the best person, that's what they want. I'm hoping that they have the right direction going. I'm really hoping. There's been a lot of like back and forth of what they see fit on, what they don't see. But now that we have pros, and we have 20 shows, it's going to be great to judge. It's going to be easy to judge this kind of show. There are going to be a lot of people in the shows, but we're going to have a good standard, I believe, as the season goes on, and also get to the Olympia. It was going to be the face of this division. I'm excited to see that. All right. End note. That's all. I appreciate you guys. I'm excited for the show. Like, share, comment. Who do you want to see winning? What are you excited for in Fit Model? The Arnold Classic is next week. I fly out, so I'm excited to see that. Also, they have the amateur, which, we'll see what happens if that amateur winner winds up going and competing in the pro league right away. But I'm going to be there. I'm excited. A lot of things are happening in my life, so I might not be in this place. I might sometime in June be. So bear with me if you don't see me for a couple of days, just trying to like move in again, everything. I think by like end of June, I'll be in a new place. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Until then, see you next time.